Okay, so for my insider outsider vlog, I'll be talking about a few things, starting off with behaviorism, specifically B.F. Skinner and operant conditioning through the reward system. I'm going to start off with a brief couple of stories. So back when I was in fifth grade, we took a trip to the Henry Ford Museum and Greenfield Village. Even then, I was really into history, so I loved it. And what my teacher did was she said to those who visited different areas, whoever filled out the most on a worksheet that she gave us, and had very detailed accounts of what we saw, some of the different places that we visited in the village and so forth, would be rewarded, of course, candy, fifth grade, who doesn't love it? So there was that part. And then I want to move on to gym class, my fit and well class in eighth grade, I believe it was, where the rewards were games. To get a little bit more specific, through like punishment and reinforcement, punishment would be like boot camp when he would get angry at us or be upset because he felt like the effort level wasn't there in the class and so forth. And reinforcement when it came to that class would be, like I said, gyms, where we would do something that was less than desirable. Pacers really come to mind, where you have to run back and forth. So he would reward us with games or in a much easier time after we did those. All right. To move on, I wanted to address attributes and stereotypes from another unit. And I want to briefly start off with history stereotypes because my insider part was history and going to the museum and so forth. I got a text from my partner, Danny, over the weekend, and he said that history, he saw that there were some interesting parts of history, and I thought that that was very interesting because, I think he, like many others, just he had a bad experience in a history class, that it just didn't affect him like it affected me because I thought, really great teachers. However, that being said, since he wanted to take me to the gym, I had my own stereotypes, specifically with gym goers. I either thought if you went to the gym, it was either you were like an athlete, fitness fanatic in a way, or you were just an individual who made some, I don't know, unhealthy choices, and you really wanted to get in shape for some reason. And I didn't think I was part of either one of those categories. So the going to the gym just never really appealed to me. And that's a big reason why I was the outsider. So the that kind of changed my mind when I started to listen to him and what he valued in it. To the point where I think that I may go to the gym. I think I will, starting next year, hopefully, if everything returns to some type of normal some point in the future. Also, I want to address culture. So I look at it from the history major perspective, where we look at it as a group. We look at the world, especially right now with the coronavirus spreading throughout. As history majors, we study all these different times where you have like the Black Plague and the Spanish flu, and every time humanity has gotten through it, specifically the U.S. went through it just over 100 years ago with the Spanish flu. So we look at it that way, that everything will be okay, we'll get through this, that sort of thing. And also I want to briefly speak on why we value museums. We're able to see what we study in museums, so we love going to those. It's one thing to just study something, read about it, look at pictures, but then you see something from like an era that is really interesting to you, and you actually get to see artifacts from there, or maybe the artifact that you were specifically referencing, and that to history majors is candy to a fifth grader. Now, as for learning and education, I think it goes back to the idea of influential teachers and the ability to listen to others, see what they value in a place or action. And I think that goes back to the culture unit. overall valuing and listening. Going to the museum, that we weren't able to do that, but or to the gym. But my partner and I had different views on going to the gym and going to the museum. But at the same time, we listened to each other, and I think that was very important. And like I said, now I think I'm gonna go to the gym in the future. So I think I valued everything that he talked about. I listened well, and maybe this could be a stretch, but perhaps you could add this to culture identity as me as an MSU student going to the gym. Well, that's my vlog.